Rock and roll. You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Alliance Group podcast. We have Miss Adriana Reyes all the way from High Point, North Carolina, originally by way of Columbia. And you are here in the studio with us today. First time in the Alliance Group office. Welcome.
Thank you so much, and first time here.
First time here. It is fantastic to have you. So I was really looking forward to you coming in, Adriana, because you are one of those examples of like a rising star at Five Rings Financial, somebody who kind of came out of nowhere with a really, really big year last year. So you started last August. Mauricio Antunes brought you in. You're obviously with with Five Rings Financial with the Brazilianaires group. Although you are not Brazilian, you are from Colombia. Not. So you're kind of working your own niche over there. Mauricio brought you in last August, and you went to work pretty quickly. And in 4 months, Adriana actually qualified for our conference as one of the top producers in all of Alliance Group. So congratulations, by the way, on amazing 2022.
Yes, very good. Thank you so much.
That's pretty incredible. So tell me how you got into this business and how you experienced this great success in 2022. You told me earlier, as we were talking before the podcast, that kind of Mauricio introduced you to the concept of living benefits, and that's what really kind of caught your interest.
Yes, he went to the office because he wanted to just explore the real estate broker's business to get into the business. So he went to my office and explained for 2 hours about the company, the opportunity. I was listening here to him, and I say, this sounds like a scam.
It sounds like a scam. Living benefits? I've never heard of this.
Exactly. What is this guy is talking about? We say, okay, listen to him, and I say, okay, I like the idea, Mauricio. Let me find out, and I will let you know. I start looking in the computer, and I say, oh, my Lord. Why? Nobody had told me about the living
Nobody
benefit.
ever told me, yeah.
And what is this about? And explore, and I found that it's completely real. And I say, oh, I want to do it. But I was talking about only living benefits. So I called Mauricio, say, I going to do the business. Wait for me to get the license, and I call you when I'm ready. Yeah. After 2 months, I called him and say, hey, Mauricio, I'm ready. And I start working, but I don't have any clue with the whole business idea. Right. I just get the license and try to sell living benefits.
So at this point, all you knew was, I know that living benefits are something that I didn't know about, that more people should know about. There's a big opportunity here. And you just went and got your license and then came back to him and said, okay, I have my license, and now what do I do with this? How do I talk to people about these living benefits? Okay,
this would sound funny because this is me, okay? So I say, okay, I want to help my clients. I want to help with something that really help the whole family, because I heard many stories about medical bills and that kind of thing. So I say, okay, I want to help. I pray to God many, many times, say I want to something that help my client. And this is it. What I got it. And I say, okay, thank you, God. This is I'm going to do it. And I start working with my clients, but I don't have all the big pictures, okay, all the products, all the things that I can do. I just start with the basic product and I start talking about with my client, the one that I have it right now. I say, you know what?
So you're backing up a little bit. You're a realtor.
Yes,
and
I am.
You have been for 11 years.
11 years.
So you're very established. So you kind of had a little bit of advantage over most people that are coming into the business fresh, because you had a group of people who already knew you. They'd already done business with you. They bought homes through you. They like you, obviously. And so you were able to kind of introduce living benefits to them through mortgage protection.
Exactly. I've been doing this business for 11 years. I am a broker. I have an office with 3 more agents. So we're a team that we're doing successfully. And so what I did is start talking with my clients, the current clients that I had at that moment, about protecting themselves. Why? Because we're talking about PMI, which is a private mortgage insurance. You protect the lender.
The bank.
The bank.
Right. The bank makes you, they hold a gun to your head and make you get PMI because we've just loaned you a bunch of money. If you default on this loan, we're going to need to make sure that we're financially covered for that. So we're going to make you pay for an insurance policy to cover our butts. Exactly. That's what PMI is. And I think that is a big misnomer that people think that PMI is protecting them.
No.
When you're talking about a mortgage protection policy.
Exactly.
So tell me how you talk to clients about mortgage protection versus PMI.
Okay, what I'm talking about before closing with the current clients that I have, I say, you know what, we're going to talk about insurance. Why? Because you have a PMI. You're paying a PMI MI at the closing table. You know what the PMI is? I have explained, of course, so I just remind them what it is. So we're talking about PMI. We're talking about hazard insurance, which is you are protecting the house, okay, the brick.
You have to have that.
Exactly. And we're talking about home warranty, which is you protecting from components of the house. So
your water heater and things like that.
Exactly, plumbing, electricity, and that kind of thing. So we're talking about these three different insurance. And at the end, they say, okay, who is protecting you? What happened if something happened to you? Who gonna pay the loan? What happened with your family, with your kids? And I say, I don't have anything. I say, listen, this is a conversation we need to have. And at that moment, you want to start talking about mortgage protection.
Right.
And all of them say, yes, I need to do it.
Because it makes sense, right? And this is something that realtors don't generally bring up because realtors don't sell insurance. They don't consider themselves to be insurance salespeople. They're not comfortable talking about it. But you saw an opportunity. You saw living benefits. You saw that this is something that everybody needs. And you saw the opportunity to introduce this to your warm market, to people who already knew you.
Exactly.
Through mortgage protection. It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it, Adriana? Because we've at Alliance Group, we've created several marketing videos trying to explain mortgage protection to clients. Is you just took on this giant debt. I mean, congratulations, you have a new home. This is a good, happy, positive moment. But at the same time, you've also taken on a very large debt obligation.
Exactly.
That if something happens to you, that debt obligation is not going away. It's going to your family. It's going to your surviving spouse, to your family. You should want to protect them from being left to pay a mortgage or, to have this debt hit them. A mortgage protection plan can essentially pay off the mortgage if something happens to a breadwinner, right?
Exactly. And there's something, I have a lot of Hispanic community in my clients. So usually in our country, we have insurance. When you get a loan and you have a property that you buy through the bank, usually the bank put a life insurance to protect that property.
In other countries.
Yes. That's the way it is. So people here think that is the same thing. They don't, because sometimes realtors don't explain that. So they thinking that they assuming it's the same thing, and they say, no, that is not the same thing. And I start explaining, in this country, you need to do it. The bank
you have to do it on your own.
Exactly. The bank is not going to do it for yourself. So I explain the difference, and I say, yes, I need to do it. And it's easy, to be honest with you, as a real estate agent, to sell a mortgage protection because they have, we've been working with them for more than 60 days, 3 months, 4 months. So they trust us.
Right.
So it's easy, to be honest with you. So that's the way to sell it. And also, with the 11 years that I have doing this business, I have many stories to tell about some clients usually have a difficult situation, usually medical bills, and something happened in the family, and they need to sell the house fast.
Yeah.
And I say,
then you sell it at, it's not a good situation to be in.
Exactly. So I have many clients that just call me, hey, Adriana, I have this situation. And I say, oh my God, you should only have living benefits. Maybe you're going to be protected at this moment. Yeah. So it's easy to recall all that client and explain to them.
11 years of experience pays off when you have all of those stories to tell, real world stories. That's something. You brought up something very interesting. I did not realize that in other countries, they put life insurance in place automatically with the mortgage, and that people coming to America think, well, it works the same. I'm sure that's what that PMI stuff is. Like, no, that's not for you. That's for the bank. If you want to be protected, you have to set that up yourself. That is very, very interesting.
And let me tell you something. I don't know, that how some loans work, when they close a transaction, usually that is public record. So mortgage company buy that information, and usually not only mortgage company, just insurance company buy that kind of information because it's public records, and they send letters to the client.
Yep.
As soon as you close the transaction, you get a letter that they say, call this company, important last final call,
notice,
final notice, and blah blah blah. And there is a little letter, the little one that say this is
fine print.
Exactly, and there's the catch. And some clients just sign because they're afraid, they don't know what it is, and they sign and send it. And basically, what they buy right there is insurance. Yes, it's life insurance, and they don't know that. And that's my part. I educate them.
Right.
So I think as a realtor, as a real estate agent, is my obligation to educate my clients. And that's what I do. So sometimes buy a product like this is easy when you educate your clients in the process. That's what I do.
When clients feel, there's something we say a lot at Alliance Group, education leads to empowerment because you feel empowered to make the right decision. Empowerment leads to action. So we always start with education, and it's fantastic you do that as well. So you are not, we touched on this a little bit. You're a realtor, obviously, 11 years. You've also become a real estate investor.
Yes.
And one other area other than mortgage protection that you've been working with is infinite banking. This is something that's been very, very hot lately. It's been, the 2023, I would say, in the life insurance industry is the year of infinite banking. There's all these videos on TikTok and all across the internet talking about infinite banking. It's become very, very popular as real estate investing has also been popular. So talk to me about infinite banking as a real estate investor, how you use infinite banking, and then why it's something that other real estate investors you think should look into.
Yeah, I practice infinite banking for more than 2 years, so I know about this thing. So, but it's really hot topic usually in the American people usually, but not in Spanish. There are just few talking about this thing. So that's why I decided to say, okay, I'm gonna talk with my investor about this thing because this is what I do.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna teach him what I do.
Yep.
So is instead of having the money in the bank just sitting right there doing nothing, and the bank using your money for doing something like that, so they say, okay, let's do it with my money. So I put the money in a policy. Of course, you need to qualify and everything.
Yep.
So and decide to use that money for my investments. That's what I do, and I teach in my investor because I do masterminds. In the mastermind, I explain, of course, after the Money 101 workshop, I explain about the infinity banking. So they know the potential, they love it, and I explain what I do, and I say, if somebody's doing, why not me?
Right.
That's what they think.
Absolutely.
And it's easy to do it, an investor, because they know that it's important to have power of your money, not somebody else.
Yep.
And that's what I do. And infinity banking is something that I practicing for more than 2 years.
Yeah, it's basically infinite banking is one term for it. You've also heard it called be your own bank.
Exactly.
So what it basically is if you're a real estate investor, you generally probably have some money sitting in a savings account or whatever that you're waiting to put down for a down payment on a home, or you might want to go and get a loan from a bank as you're making these transactions as a real estate investor. When you see an opportunity, you want to go to a bank and get a loan to get the money to put down for the investment. What infinite banking basically allows them to do is to be their own bank and to loan money to themselves through a life insurance policy. Now, as I understand it, the great part about that is that as a real estate investor, you can take that money that's in the savings account and just put it into your infinite bank, which is a permanent life insurance policy.
Right.
And then you can loan yourself that money to go and make that next purchase, that next investment. The beauty is that the money that was in the policy stays in the policy and continues to gain interest while the loaned money is out making more money for you, hopefully an investment. So that is what makes infinite banking so popular among people like yourself and the people that you work with real estate investors. It works with other folks as well. So it has infinite banking been well received by by people that you presented it to?
Yes,
that are real estate investors?
They are really open-minded. When you present this, it sounds like a logic. So they say, okay, it's practical, it's illogical, I do it. And you know what? There's different ways to do it. So you can put the money in the policy, of course, the check of money, you put it right there. You just taking the money out and you use it for flipping. You use it for rental as well. Yeah. But you can use it to lend money to somebody else. That's why for a private investor it's so important, because when we do that kind of mastermind, people are looking for opportunities to do houses, to sell houses, but at the same time to get private money. So private investors just lend the money to, of course, the interest rate is higher. So between the insurance and the interest rate that you charge, they get the game, which is called arbitrage. Arbitrage, right? And so it's really practical, is good. Why not to do it? It makes sense. Why not to do it? So when you present this thing to the client or to the potential client and say, yes, this is exactly what I'm doing with my money. Right. So that's what I'm doing in real estate and all the masterminds.
That's fantastic. So Adriana, you can obviously help people with mortgage protection. You can help, if there's a family watching this that just wants to get living benefits in place for themselves, even outside of mortgage protection, just to set up your life insurance for your family, you can absolutely help with that as well. For real estate investors who are looking to get into this infinite banking thing or learn more about it, you obviously have all of the knowledge there. But also, you want to help people get into this opportunity that you're in, right? Yes. So who are you looking to work with? And who do you think is the best type of person to reach out to you to possibly work with you?
I love realtors.
Yes,
to be honest with you, I love realtors. Of course, I don't know. We're not doing this thing. I mean, you should do it as a real estate agent. And I love loan officers. Yeah. So mortgage broker, loan officers, yes, you should do it because you have the way to talk to the client about the loan and what not doing about the mortgage protection. It's easy.
And it's adding if you're not offering this to your clients as a real estate agent or as a loan officer, number one, you're not giving needed protection to that family and protecting that family where they should. Number two, you are leaving money on the table because you've shown that these people, once they're educated about it, they do want it. They want it in their lives, and you obviously did. In 4 months, you qualified for our conference as one of our top producers just by showing your real estate clients mortgage protection and letting them put it in place for themselves.
Exactly. And on my team, I have one loan officer, active loan officer, 3 more getting the license, and also 4, I have my team as well in my line, but another 4 agents that I start working with this team. So I just presenting to the realtors and to the loan officer, and they love the idea and they start doing that.
And they want in. They're like, how do I pass this awesome value on to my book of real estate clients? So I think that's fantastic.
Yes, this is another target that is misattended. I mean, people are not working, in my opinion. They're the kids at the universities because they get in university and they have a big loan to pay off. So I start to working with them with my daughters. They are 19 years old ladies. So they're in the university. And I have another lady which is 20 years old. They go to the same university. So they get the license, and we're going to get the same topic. We're using the same topic, the Money 101 and presentation, and universities. Wow. So to try to educate kids at the university how they can start open basic product for income protection and that kind of stuff to accumulate money when they get the final university pay bill.
Yeah, basically.
Basically, they're going to be able to pay off.
Wow.
So I do it with these 3 kids.
That's fantastic. So those kids, I imagine, are probably in the universities, like getting people to come to the event and marketing so that you can come in and deliver a kind of Money 101.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. And getting this financial education into the minds of those young kids who probably don't have a ton of expendable income right now.
Exactly.
But I know if you're like me, I know I had $50 a week that I could have put aside in college instead of spending it at the bar.
Exactly.
Right? So just kind of talking to those college students about, hey, take that $50 for your Starbucks every morning that you're buying on the way to class, or for that bar tab on Saturday night or whatever, and put it aside for this, and you could actually have your college paid off by the end.
Exactly. And the good thing is I try to focus on them, because if they going to see kids going to see me, maybe say, no, it's kind of boring, this lady talking about this thing. But it is coming from a person the same age, maybe they're going to listen. Absolutely. And that's what I took my daughters and the other lady, which is 20, and we are doing right now the same thing in universities.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is
it's coming from them. Of course, I do the Money 101, but they are next to me just to help them. Yes.
Oh, it's fantastic training for them for when they get out as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
So many ways that Adriana is helping people, not only her clients with mortgage protection, but her colleagues as well with things like infinite banking, and the opportunity to work with Five Rings Financial and help other families put these solutions in place. Adriana, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sam, for the invitation.
Of course.
Listen to this interview and more on the Alliance Group podcast.